Hey guys, it's me, Seren, back with another video. So today's video is going to be on someone that has been highly requested for the Hidden Figure series. At least 3 or 4 of you have asked me to feature this woman, Queen Nanny of the Maroons, who is a Jamaican freedom fighter. And I had never heard of her. So another person that I had never heard of that quite a few of you suggested. So I decided to do Queen Nanny of the Maroons. That's kind of how I'm getting so many requests that's kind of how I'm doing it now. The people that are getting the most requests that you guys really want me to do is kind of how I'm picking. So please keep making requests and leaving them in the comments because you guys have I've looked through some more names and you guys are making some awesome fucking requests about some great women. So thank you guys so much for that. We're on day 8 straight of vlogging and you guys have been a huge part of that with your suggestions. So thank you. So moving on, Queen Nanny of the Maroons. Born circa 1865 in Ghana, she was one of the millions of black people forced upon the grueling months-long Middle Passage journey from Africa to the Americas. Now, I want to say, I'm going to interrupt myself and say that I've read 2 conflicting accounts of the birth and travel of Queen Nanny of the Maroons. There are some accounts that say that she was born a free woman in Africa and that she came to Jamaica as a free woman. And then there are some reports that say that she was born in Africa, but then she was enslaved and she was brought to Jamaica as a slave. So I just wanted to let you guys know that there are those 2 backstories, even though what I'm reading right now has a version of her where she was a slave. So born circa 1865, dyslexia. Born circa 1685 in Ghana, she was one of the millions of black people forced upon the grueling months-long Middle Passage journey from Africa to the Americas. By the time she arrived in Jamaica, the Maroons were already an established culture. They had escaped bondage in 1655 when Spanish and British colonizers battled for control of the country and fled to hard-to-reach mountainous areas that made it all but impossible for their former masters to capture them. When Nanny and her siblings escaped slavery in Jamaica, they joined the Maroons in the mountains and formed free black communities. The towns thrived as independent entities operating outside of British colonization and enslavement. By that time, the British were shipping in a high volume of Africans to cultivate the vast, lucrative sugarcane fields. While still tending to successful Maroon life in the mountains, Nanny was the mastermind behind expeditions into enemy territory in Jamaica to strategically attack plantations and free enslaved people. Historians estimate that she freed almost 1,000 slaves in her lifetime. She and her well-trained warriors proved to be formidable opponents for the better-equipped British, and some speculate, that Nanny was an Obeah woman, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, or someone with supernatural powers, and that is what gave the Maroons the upper hand. Many mythical stories have been told about her abilities, but what historians do know is that she successfully fought tremendous odds to help Jamaican blacks escape slavery. So she was a revolutionary woman, a freedom fighter, reading this kind of made me think of a Jamaican Harriet Tubman or Sojourner Truth, a woman that's just totally fearless and just a radical, a radical. I wanted to read you guys a little bit about Obeah. If I'm saying that wrong, I think it's Obeah. Oh, let me Google voice it. Let's see.
Obeah.
Obeah. This is Obeah. Okay, Obeah. Obeah. Let's read a little bit about Obeah. Obeah is a term used in the West Indies to refer to folk magic, sorcery, and religious practices developed among West African slaves, specifically of Igbo origin. Obeah is similar to other Afro-American religions, including Palo, Voodoo, Santeria, and Hoodoo. Obeah is practiced in Haiti, the Bahamas, Barbados, Belize, Dominica, Jamaica, Guyana, Suriname, Trinidad and Tobago, and other Caribbean nations. Obeah is associated with both benign and malignant magic, charms, luck, and with mysticism in general. And in some Caribbean nations, Obeah refers to folk religions of the African diaspora. So this is some pre-Christianity shit, basically. In some aspects, In some cases, aspects of these folk religions have survived through syncretism with Christian symbolism and practice introduced by European colonials and slave owners. Yeah, exactly. So they're saying that maybe she was, one of these religious women. I'm sure a lot of you probably know more about this. Please let me know in the comments anything you know about this religion or about Queen Nanny of the Maroons. Now, there's not much written about her. Like, she's mostly been passed down through oral history and through legend in Jamaica. So I don't have any quotes for her, but again, any of you that maybe are Jamaican or that grew up hearing about this woman, or, of course you can leave in the comments. Is there anything else I wanted to say? In her book, The Mother of Us All, A History of Queen Nanny, Arthur Carla Gottlieb underscores the distinctiveness of the Maroons. The story of the Maroons is unique in history, how several hundred escaped slaves with no uniforms, no supply of guns and ammunition except those that they were able to steal or obtain covertly, no steady supply of food, and no secure living place could fend off the best soldiers of an empire that had an almost endless supply of sophisticated heavy artillery, including portable swivel guns, a seemingly endless supply of new soldiers, as well as a wealth of material resources, is a historical feat that probably could never be duplicated. Queen Nanny herself is said to have been killed by the British in the 1730s, but the exact date of her passing is unclear. The Maroons carried on after her death, and her brother Kojo was an integral part of signing a treaty with Britain in 1738. Queen Nanny is buried at Bump Grave in Moortown, where people still regularly visit her final resting place. No one knows precisely what she looked like, but an artist's rendering of her is on Jamaica's $500 banknote. She is also the only woman out of 7 people that Jamaica recognizes as an official national hero. Queen Nanny of the Maroons. Hidden figure. Thank you guys so much for suggesting her. I was reading a lot of stuff about her, and she just sounds like a completely formidable and just amazing woman. So, I'm really glad, and I had never heard of her. So I'm really glad you guys suggested her. Thank you so much. Again, of course, there will be links in the description box. Let me know what you know about Queen Nanny of the Maroons in the comments, and see you guys tomorrow. Hope that as always. Peace.